Hello and welcome to Movie Monday, even though it's the first week of the month. But we are doing a themed month again for May, and this time it is what I guess we could call, I don't know, underappreciated Disney movies, maybe? Um,
Yeah.
Like pre-Renaissance Disney.
we've chosen 5 Disney movies that are just not really talked about very much. And we
Mm.
basically are seeing, is there a reason for that, or are people sleeping on these and they kind of should be talked about more? And the
Mm.
first one we watched is Robin Hood. And I believe, Harry, you said that you watched this kind of a long time ago.
Yeah, I watched this a very long time ago. I think once or twice, and the only scenes that I had remembered prior to us watching it now was the scene where Robin and Little John are walking down, like basically the first or second scene of the movie where they're walking.
Oh, yeah.
And then I remembered the disguise for the archery contest, and I remembered what was the last thing I remembered? I think it was the jail scene actually. Those were the 3 things that I had remembered. But I didn't remember anything else. So it was interesting seeing it again. Definitely.
Oh, you might.
I've never actually seen Robin Hood. I've only ever seen like a couple of clips. Like the specific clips that I remember are I think the archery scene where Robin Hood's disguised as like the stork, and then the the romantic outing with Maid Marian. Those are the only scenes I've seen clips of, and I was like, why the hell are they furries?
I mean, okay, I have not seen the whole movie either, and I've also seen like some random clips. But like, what I recognized was a bunch of really random, like single brief moments. Like for example, the whole thing with like the bags of money being like carried down on the rope or whatever. I'm like, that looks familiar. But like, so there's like that, and like this is something great that this shows up repeatedly. But like, I noticed okay, this movie was one of a couple Disney movies where they basically were kind of like broke, so they were like reusing a bunch of like
Yeah, that's what I wanted to touch on too.
Yeah.
Like especially during the Prince John the Phony King of England scene.
Yeah.
Where they reused like a bunch of dance scenes from like Aristocats. Then I think there's like one particular scene that was taken from the Jungle Book.
Yeah,
Yep.
I think one of Maid Marian's dancing things is I think actually Snow White dances.
Yeah.
I think yeah. But it's not just that though. It's also like I noticed, for example, like the Rhino guards have like the exact same walking animation like every time they're walking like sideways, for example. So like I noticed that, and like there's a couple of things like for example like Prince John like sucking his thumb or whatever. I was like, oh, that's a thing. So like, there's a bunch of stuff like really small things like that. Where I'm like, oh, I recognize that. But like, for example, I didn't know there was like, I mean, this is kind of obvious in hindsight, but like, I didn't know there was an archery competition. But like, I mean, come on. So and like, or the jailbreak thing, I didn't know that. So yeah, like but I don't know. My overall take is that like, this is like really silly, but like, it was enjoyably silly. So it works. That's my attitude for it.
It's kind of like a movie that it doesn't have a deeper meaning or anything to it. It's just Robin Hood. You switch your brain off and that's it. It's not really trying to prove itself as anything, and it's not trying to insult anyone. It's just a bunch of characters playing on the screen.
Yeah.
You know what's kind of funny though? Because like the premise of Robin Hood in and of itself is like basically eat the rich, and like some cops are bastards, and when I realized that, I was like, my god, yeah, the sheriff is an asshole.
Yeah.
Like he's really awful. And then like
you were rooting for the friar just to beat him up.
Yeah, I was during that scene I was like, yeah, kill him. Telling the friar to kill the sheriff because he's such an asshole. And then I was like, wow, this movie's so like relevant right now. Eat the rich, some cops are bad.
But, like, It's so like honestly, like Prince John is just really funny at how like fucking pathetic he is, and like,
Yeah,
and
he's
it's that like everyone else like knows it too. So
yeah.
like everyone
Like,
just shits on him all the time, and it's really funny.
Like even like Hiss and the sheriff, they were all like, "Yeah, this is a great tune and everything."
Yeah.
Another thing I noticed was I guess I don't know, some of it's also part of the source material, but there are like some kind of like mildly fucked up moments, like, you know, the jailing the poor for not paying their taxes and forcing them to do physical labor is pretty fucked up, but then also like there's a lot of boob gags
Oh,
in
yeah.
this movie.
Oh, we'll be seeing a lot more of that in the next movie.
Yeah, more.
Oh, okay. I didn't know that. Interesting.
Oh, well, there you go.
Okay.
Well,
Something to
we'll
look
continue
forward
talking
to.
about Robin Hood first. So.
Okay. But yeah, like it's a lot of it's fun, and like the action is pretty fun. You know, considering again, you know, this is an animated thing in like I believe the early '70s that again had a lot we reused a lot of stuff from earlier, so
Yeah.
that's pretty impressive. And like there's actually some like, you know, dialogue that's fairly funny too. I can't think of anything specific, but you know, the characters are like they're not amazing characters, but they're enjoyable. You pick them for who they are.
I guess
And
the fact that they had a small budget and they couldn't animate too much made it so that it's like you see like the same characters over and over again, but at the same time you kind of get used to like the small cast of characters.
yeah,
Yeah.
Like the dog with the cast on his leg, or
yeah,
the owl couple.
yeah.
The
Actually,
alligator dude.
a really
Okay.
small scene that doesn't really do very much for the overall story, but for some reason I really liked the scene was early on when like the kids, you know, they shoot the arrow into like the over the wall or whatever, and they like sort of have this like pretend like play thing with like Marion and like the hen lady or
Oh
whatever.
yeah,
Oh,
that's
yeah.
It's just like a really nice moment. I don't know. It's just like it's like cute. Like
I guess it establishes Maid Marian to be a very nice, pleasant person that you want to be around.
yeah, it's just like
Yeah.
yeah, I'm just gonna play pretend with these kids who I don't know, and it's just like, aw, it's cute.
Yeah.
It's a nice moment.
nice because it's kind of like there's no like big grand plot. Like there's no like dragon to defeat. There's no like villain. I mean, there is a villain, but he's pathetic. So you kind of go through all these like comedic things to like basically get rid of him, as opposed to like this big grandeur battle, I guess.
The sheriff is more of the villain. He's such an asshole. I hate him.
Yeah, and okay. There's two things in specific that I wanted to mention, and I don't really know what order to mention them in. But I guess the first one, so in like the beginning of the movie, they start like, you know, during like the intro, there's like a song playing that's involving like, you know, there's like a whistling and this tune and whatever, and I'm just like, this song sounds really familiar, and I don't know why. And then all of a sudden it hit me, wait, this is the Hamtaro song. First of all, okay, I'm not 100% sure if this song was made originally for this movie or if it was like something else that this movie used, but like it's still really funny that I'm like, I recognize it. I never even watched Hamtaro. I just knew the damn song.
You just know the song from Hamtaro.
So I'm just like, okay. Now every time they, and it's slower, and of course the, you know, it's not exactly the same, but like the main melody is the same, and I'm just like, this is really distracting right now. Damn hamster dance or whatever. So that's one thing, and the other thing was just like a moment of dialogue that made me go like, what the fuck? And it's when like it's at, you know, during the whole like kind of action fight scene after the archery contest, and Robin Hood sort of like, you know, escaping with Maid Marian, and he's like, we'll have 6 kids, and she responds, we'll have at least 12, and I'm like, good lord, Marian, like, calm down. You're fucking horny, Jesus.
She waited a very long time for him to come
Still,
back.
good lord. Control yourself,
and then
woman.
like prior to that, they were like discussing their marriage and like where they would go for their honeymoon, and they missed it.
They're gonna get busy after this movie.
No, but still, it's just so like abrupt. Like, we'll have 6 kids. No, give me 12 kids.
At least.
12,
I
Alan,
know.
at least.
I'm just like, whoa, okay. No wonder the furries like this movie. And then also at the very end, like the kid, like rabbit or whatever, is like, oh yeah, I'm coming because they're gonna they're gonna have babies. I'm just like,
He said that he like needs to watch over them or something, and I'm like, excuse me.
I assume he means like watch over the kids, but still, it's like that. I don't know how much better that is. It's crazy. So yeah, that was something.
They're busy after this movie.
That line just really caught me off guard. I was like, what the fuck? Did not expect them to say that. Okay. Oh boy. But yeah, again, Tara, like you said, this is not some deep, profound movie, but it's fun. It's a good time. It's enjoyable, and I enjoyed myself watching it. So yeah.
It's just a very cute movie, and you don't have to think too much into it, except maybe how long Marion was waiting. Seems quite a while.
She has a lot of pent-up sexual energy.
Oh boy.
Oh boy, indeed. Okay. Well.
Get it, Marion.
Well, we can't rate it 12, I guess.
No. One for. Oh boy. Okay. Who should go first for a rating?
Do I even have a rating?
I think I know what I want to give it.
What do you want to give it?
I want to give it an 8. I think it does, again, it's more than just sort of standard good to me. It's legitimately pretty fun, entertaining, and yeah, I had a legitimately good time. And this is something where I would be, if someone's like, hey, would you like want to watch this again? I'd be like, sure, why not? And so that's kind of my look for between like an 8 or a 7 is like, would I be down to watch it again at some point, kind of, and like, be legitimately kind of interested to watch it and not just like, oh, I guess so, So yeah, I'd give it an
8. I think I'll be giving it like a high 7. It's like I'd also be down for rewatching it again, and it's just really cute and adorable. And I'm not giving it a 7 as a bad thing. It's just mindless and adorable. And
yeah.
I feel like that.
This kind of movie is like, this is not the kind of movie you would give like a 10 because it's just like, there isn't too much there really. But yeah, it's enjoyable for what it is. So that's kind of my reasoning. So yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so that helps me commit to my number. I was also thinking a 7. I guess I like it, but it doesn't feel like an 8 to me. I don't know why.
That's fair. To me, it's a low 8. I was kind of thinking between 8 and 7. I don't know. I just say like I had a
good
enough
time. We're all
time.
about the same.
Yeah.
I had a good enough time for me. Like, you know what? Fuck it. I'll give it an 8. Especially again, I'm thinking of this also that like I don't hear anyone ever like actually talking about this movie in terms of like happens. So I was like, it was more entertaining than I thought it would be. That was kind of my overall aspect.
Yeah.
Anyway, but that's pretty fair. Not some amazing, wonderful classic that everyone must see, but there's
it's cute. If you just want something that's cute, doesn't have like this big grandeur plot or anything, then go for it. It's not going to be you're not going to regret it.
Right. Well, next up, we are, I believe, jumping forward about a decade in terms of when things were written. And we are watching next of like the Disney movies that I've heard about, this is one of the ones that I've heard a lot of people just flat out like don't like. But I haven't seen it, so I don't know. And I guess we will find out, and that is Black Cauldron.
I've seen this. I actually watched this a lot as a child. This is like one of the movies I used to get from the VCR tape from the library.
So you're wondering if you will still try to enjoy it to the same amount, maybe?
Yeah, basically, yeah.
I know I did see a review of this like a while ago, but I remember very little from it. So there's like one thing I do remember, but that's it.
I remember, as being mentioned, there are going to be some boob jokes. The other thing is that there's a pig. I remember the pig.
Okay.
And there's this Actually, that's kind of a spoiler. I can't tell you that part, but there's another scene I remember.
Oh boy. Keeping us in suspense.
Bean?
Yeah, I've seen this once, but I remember the characters and like what they look like. I just don't remember a ton of what happened, except for maybe like one or two scenes that I was thinking, wow, this would have been very traumatic for a young child to watch.
Apparently not in my case.
So, I have some recollections. It's just, I guess, not the type of recollections most people would think to have.
Well, I guess we'll find out. See how this one shapes up. Will this one be better than we expected as well? I don't know.
We will find out
Yes, we will.
soon.
All that I know is that for some reason I found Snow White scarier than this movie, so we'll see what happens, I guess.
Okay. I mean, I found Monsters, Inc. scary as a kid, so why know? Alright. Well,
true.
that's...
The day that we watch Snow White will truly be.
I actually did see Snow White as a kid. Whatever. That's for later, I guess. Yeah, so next week is Black Cauldron.
Bye.
Bye.